So there are some individual and group modes of recruitment and various ways of encouraging people to join your event or, of course, your organisation. One of the key ways that events generally tend to benefit is through word of mouth recommendations. So these might be recommendations from people who are already volunteering at the event, and they'll encourage their friends and also their family to also volunteer at the event. So this can be a very credible form of recruitment messaging to potential volunteers. So people will tend to trust, of course, their friends and family. However, what it can mean over time is it might mean that the event actually creates a quite homogenous profile of volunteers, i.e. like-minded people, like-profiled people, also recruiting through word of mouth other like-minded, like-profiled people. We can see advertisements and also informational sources. So the event website for the organisation is a key way of trying to recruit volunteers. So messages on the event's own website about getting involved in volunteering, once again setting very realistic expectations about what is involved at the event is highly crucial. But the event organisation website is a key source of information for potential volunteers. Social media, we've seen, of course, the rise of social media as a recruitment method, and we've also seen websites and really resources come into play, such as FreddyMatch, which is, the generation of an algorithm which will then match people who are interested in volunteering with individual volunteering opportunities. And finally, we have this existing infrastructure in place in terms of volunteer resource centres, which are all across Australia. But there is the way for events to already engage with people who may know about the event, may have an existing connection. So these people might be people who've attended the event themselves, have an interest in the event, and therefore, see other people volunteering at the event and think, oh, that'd be something really great to do. I might do that next year. So taking advantage of those existing connections is also a really great way of recruiting individual volunteers. Event organisations can also seek to recruit groups as part of a recruitment strategy. So rather than recruiting individuals per se, they may engage with, for example, local associations or membership organisations such as Lions or Rotary. And typically this recruitment strategy will see the event organisation pay a nominal fee to the association. The association will then go and recruit its own members, and that might be to, for example, marshal at particular aspects of the event, or maybe to run the car park area. So the actual members are not paid a fee. They are effectively volunteering at the event, but the organisation benefits through financial reimbursement. Likewise, we've seen, of course, in the last 10 to 20 years, the rise of corporate volunteering. So event organisers can engage with corporates, and often this might be at a more specialist level. So a not-for-profit event organisation, for example, could engage with a corporate and get one of their employees to develop a digital marketing platform or campaign for a not-for-profit event. And we've also seen the rise of event management programs at tertiary level, so at university and also at vocational level across Australia and also across the world. And typically we will encourage our students, I come from one of these institutions, to engage with volunteering at events. So students as volunteers can also be a great source of volunteers for events and organisations in general. So just the key thing for organisations to be thinking about is who are these particular volunteers committed to? Is it to the individual event itself, or maybe it is that they're in fact more committed, more associated with their individual Lions Club or their employer, or their affiliation is more attached to the educational institution. So if they're not as committed to the event itself, that might be potentially an issue. Having the experience of being a convener at a university and being on the other side of the coin, we do get approaches quite regularly from event organisations around wanting to recruit our students as volunteers. For those organisations who are wishing to engage in this way, I would probably just say there is typically a longer lead time for engaging with universities and vocational education providers. We do have quite a scheduled time frame of when we teach and when we engage with our students. Often we get very last-minute requests to recruit students. So if you are seeking to recruit students, do plan ahead in that process as well. Also be very clear, have very clear job descriptions about what you want those students to be doing for your organisation, and also very much sell the benefits of how students will benefit in terms of skill development, development for their CVs and their career opportunities. Those are some of the key things that will attract students.